Hello, good morning everyone. Welcome to our Gyanjyoti online classes. And also welcome to the 8th chapter of our history section, that is education and the British rule. So in this chapter, we will discuss about what the education system of Indian society during British period, and also the decline of the traditional system of education of India. We briefly discuss about how did the education system of India destroyed by the Britishers. So you can say the traditional education system of India destroyed by British policies. Then the Britishers applied their education system in India, and what was their aim, and they also used politics in education. Then what was the condition of British education in India. In this topics we will make a clear you can say discussion about in this or related to these topics. So let's start the chapter that the British government used education as a weapon and a tool for promoting its own interest. So the Britishers used their education as a weapon in Indian society. They thought that by the Western educations, or you can say by their educations, or they provided education to the Indians. After that, the Indians will well known to the administrative field of Britishers, as well as they you can say they were always loyal to them. That's why they were spread their education in India. Then the education policy of the government was directly linked to the politics of governance and the discriminatory ideas of the rulers. The government policy led to the decline of the traditional education system. So before they implemented or spread their you can say educational policies or education in India, first they had destroyed the traditional education system of India. The traditional education system of India. So what was the traditional system of education? So even after the British conquest of Bengal, the responsibility of imparting education remained only in Indian hands. However, in 1781, Warren Hastings established a madrasa in Calcutta to encourage the study of Muslim laws. In 1781. Madrasa, or you can say mosques, masjid, established by Warren Hastings, to encourage the study of Muslim laws. Due to the efforts of Jonathan Duncan, a Sanskrit college was established in 1791. Sanskrit college was established in 1791 to promote the study of Hindu laws and philosophy in Varanasi. Got it? Then still the development of education took place only through the traditional institution in the initial stages. There was at least one traditional institution for every 400 people in Bengal. It was founded that there was one traditional school in every village of India in 1880. So, what was the traditional educational system? It was based only on religious affairs. Okay, to promote the religions like Muslim, Hindus, many you can say religious institutions, and that were known as the traditional education of India, where what the specific religions laws were promoted. Got it? So this type of traditional education systems was you can say exercised in Indian society. Got it? So after the British arrival in India, okay, they spread the Western education system in India, and they used the education system as a weapon, okay, to dominate the Indian people. After that, the beginning of modern education. How did the modern education system was began in India? That in India, modern education was for the first time introduced by non-government organization. The Christian missionaries were the first to open many new schools and colleges. Okay, the Christian missionaries who worked in India to promote their religions, to promote their Christianity religions in India. They were first open many schools and colleges in India. They did pioneering work in the field of education. Many individuals, Englishmen such as David Harry opened school. As the movements for reform progressed, a number of educational institutions were set up, by the reformers such as Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Swami Dayanand Saraswati, and Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Raja Ram Mohan Roy, writing the name. Swami Dayanand Saraswati, Dayanand Saraswati, and Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. So this were the, you can say, educationalists of education society, who were mostly responsible for the beginning of modern education system of India. This social reformer, this famous educationalists, by their efforts, they were able to, you can say, establish many schools and colleges, many educational institutions, and in India and throughout the educational institution, they were introduced the modern education system or Western education system in India. After that, state efforts means how did you can say the states or different territory of India, they were efforts to promote the modern education system in India. The new system of education, the British government introduced a new system of education. It was introduced in stages and at a very slow pace. The new system was mainly derived from the West, both in form and content. In his minute of 1811, Lord Minto referred to the state of learning in India and attributed it to the want of that encouragement which was formerly accorded to by the princes. So 1811, the time duration of, you can say, Lord Minto what attributed or said that to the want of that encouragement which was formerly afforded to it by the princes, chieftains and rich individuals under the native governments. Okay, so in the beginning period only the princes, the chieftains, the rich class people, okay, they were gave efforts to Western education. The outcome of all these circumstances was the Charter Act of 1813. The East India Company was forced to recognize the education of the Indians as one of what its foremost duties. By the Charter Act of 1813, the East India Company was forced to recognize the educations of the Indians. Okay, what they you can say recognize the Indian educated people. Okay, and it is the foremost. It was the most foremost or important duties of East India Companies to you can say to applause for the what Indian educationalist. Got it? Then provision under Charter Act of 1813. Okay, what were the provisions in the Charter Act of 1813? That Section 43 of the British government introduced a new system of education. Through the Charter Act of 1813, a new system of education was introduced by what? British government. New education policy. What? New education system. By the Charter Act of 1813. It was introduced in stages and at a very slow pace. Yeah. The Charter Act directed the East India Company to set apart a sum of not less than 1 lakh of rupees each year. This amount had to be applied to the revival and improvement of the learned natives of India and for the introduction and promotion of knowledge of the sciences among the inhabitants of the British territories in India. Okay, so simply, okay, the people who were worked under the British government, okay, through them the British government would set up a new education policies or what new education system in India. Okay, in a year approximately 1 lakh rupees. Okay, what the Britishers you can say exercised in education system. Okay, or 1 lakh rupees what donated or exercised by British government to promote the new education system in India for the people who were work under them. Okay, throughout what the Britishers what used the education like a weapons against the rivalry. Got it? They thought that what by the education system, by the new education system, what the Indians they were you can say got many information or knowledge about the government, about the laws, rules and regulations, and what the Indians were become loyal to them. That's why they were introduced new education system in India. Okay, the act was important for the education system in India. The importance lay in the fact that the company at least accepted the responsibility of providing education for the first time. For a few years, a great controversy raised in the country on the question of direction that this expenditure should take. While one section was of the opinion that it should be spent exclusively for the promotion of modern Western sciences, another section desired that While Western sciences and literature should be taught to students, emphasize what should be paid on the expense of traditional learning. Okay, so by the new education system, okay, by the, you can say, financial support which was provided in new education system, okay, the people, the educationalists, okay, they were divided into two groups. Okay, one educational groups, they were, you can say, supported the efforts of the Britishers. Okay, they were made for the Western education or spread for Western education. Okay, after that, the educationalists or the knowledgeable educationalists of Indian society, they were against the Western education. Okay, they thought that, or they delivered that the money, okay, which was used in the development, in the spread of Western education, that should be what used for the promoting of what you can say traditional education system of India. Okay, so the Charter Act of 1813, it you can say it divided the Indian educationalist in two classes. Okay, one group of people, they were supported to Western education, and one group of people, they were in the support of what traditional education system of India. Okay, so there was many, you can say, differences between one medium of instructions. Okay, like differences were created on the medium of instructions. Some recommended the use of Indian languages called vernacular, like Sanskrit, Hindi. Okay, while others advocated the use of English as a medium of instruction. Because there was two party. Okay, some instructed that the new education system, okay, that there should be in English language, but other who opposed to new education system, they were with the traditional education system. They supported to the vernacular language like Sanskrit. Okay, then Oriental what Anglicist controversy. The Orientalists advocated the promotion of Oriental subject through Indian languages. The what Anglicists or argued the cause of Western sciences and literature in the medium of English language. Okay, this is about the teachers, about you can say the educationalists who taught about the new education system. That the issue was debated for quite some time. Lord William Bentinck advocated the what Anglicist view. The Anglicist won the battle. Okay, because the Anglicists they supported to Western sciences, okay, and literature, and they taught in the medium of English language. So very little was actually done till 1823. After the Charter Act of 1830, okay, after the Charter Act of 1830, in 1823. A general committee of public instruction was set up at Calcutta to carry out the proposal enlisted in the Charter Act of 1830. Okay? In 1823, Calcutta. What? A public instruction was set up. Okay, what? Public instruction. Was set up in Calcutta to carry out the proposal enlisted in the Charter Act of 1830. Okay, and to carry out or to extract the proposals which were implemented in which were regulated in the Charter Act of 1830 to rescue, you can say, the proposals of Charter Act. Okay, a public instructions was set up in 1823 in Calcutta. Then, in spite of the new ideal of Indian education, which was becoming popular day by day, the committee showed in its initial stages its preference for Oriental studies. The British people of the early 19th century believed that their language, literature and culture were superior to those of the Indian, and so it must be imposed upon the Indian natives. Okay, so you can say the public instructions set up in Kolkata to find out the proposals of Charter Act of 1830. Okay, the educationalists from British society, okay, they were what thought about that the language or the education system of their own was the superior than the Indian society, and it was their you can say they wished that the education system or the English language should be what applicated in Indian society. Okay, in India there was a section of newly educated person who also sincerely believed in the necessity of modern study for India's through English language. So there was you can say some educationalists in Indian society like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Swami Dayanand Saraswati. Okay, these were the reformer. They supported to Western language. They supported to, you can say, Western culture and new education policy, or you can say system of the Britishers. Then the reason for this attitude was that the indigenous school of higher learning, namely the Pathshala, were not, you can say, able to come up to the requirements of a new age. Okay, or you can say the increase, you can say the English language was popularly, you can say, among the Indian people by some of the modern educationalists. They also promoted the Western culture in Indian society. Okay, so the Pathshala, or you can say the Indian and traditional educational system or Pathshala, okay, they dominated, you can say, they pressurized by the Western culture or new education system. On the other hand, English as a language of the rulers attracted great attention. Its study opened up new avenues of gaining more lucrative employment under the government. These views took shape in 1817 when the Hindu College of Calcutta came into existence. It was meant to teach English language and some modern subjects. So finally in 1817, okay, the Hindu College of Calcutta, it was set up in Calcutta, or existence in Calcutta, and it was, you can say, built for the meant to teach English language, to English, you can say, culture and some modern subjects to the Indian scholars, to Indian people. Okay, so this is all about that, the provision through the Charter Act. Okay, the Britishers, they were created many educational institutions. They were established, you can say, schools and colleges for the you can say, to spread the Western education system in India, and also their motive, their ambition to spread Christianity among the Indian society. Okay, that's why they were created, or they were formed many educational institutions. Okay, through the educational institution, they were, you can say, they were taught English language to the Indian people. So this is about today's class. In our next class, we will discuss about the rest of our chapter. Okay, about today's class. So let's take a quick recap of this chapter. That in the beginning period, Okay, the Britishers used the education system as a weapons. They thought that through the educations they spread their religions over India, and also throughout the new education system they were dominated the Indian people under them, and the Indian people were always loyal to them. That's why they were introduced new education policy. They were tried to introduce. They set up many schools and colleges in India. They destroyed the traditional education system in India. They destroyed. They destroyed the vernacular language policy of India, and they established many schools, colleges in India to educate the Indian people. Okay, there were some Indian scholars or educationalists who were supported to British government, who were supported the new education system of the Britishers, but there were also the Indian educationalists who were against the Britishers. But finally, the Britishers were set up educational institutions, and through the educational institution they taught about the English language to the Indian people, as well as they taught about the Western, or they introduced Western culture in India. Okay, some of the great reformer or Indian society like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, then Swami Dayanand Saraswati, then Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar Sir, Said Ahmad Khan. Okay, these were some important reformer or educationalists who were supported the new education policy, new education system of the Britishers. Okay, and by these new education systems, okay, by the efforts of these educationalists or these social reformers, okay, many social evils, okay, many social evils were drained out from Indian society. So finally the Britishers were able to spread new education system in India. Through the new education system, our social evil like Sati Pratha, okay, then Bal Vivah Pratha, okay, this type of you can say incident or social evils were carried out from Indian society by the efforts of new education system of India, okay, which was introduced by the Britishers. Okay, so this is all about this class. In our next class we will discuss about the rest of the chapter. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.